Yay, we're live.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, my lovelies, and welcome back to another episode of Unprinted Pages. Fakehor has been very blessed with our past two releases. We got to talk to Andrew McDowell yesterday, and this morning, it's morning for me, but afternoon for him, we get to talk to Josh Pavelsky. I should have asked if I am pronouncing that right before the show.
It's completely fun. It's pronounced Pavelsky, but you got close to it.
Pavelsky, awesome. This is his first poetry volume, and it has so many amazing poems. And please tell us a little bit about you, sir.
Well, where do I begin? I've been writing poetry since I was in middle school. My first poem actually started for a girl that had a crush on. It didn't go too well because, middle school.
Oh yeah.
I'm 22 years old and I've always wanted to be a published author. My grandfather was one. He released 3 books himself before he passed away. He was my idol. He was everything to me. And I made a promise to him that before I turned 30, that I would be a published author. And I'm just glad that the Fae Corp and everybody around me could help me keep that promise to him.
I am so happy that you decided to publish with us. I am so happy I get to have your book on my phone. It's still on my phone, to be honest. So I carry it around in my pocket with me.
That's amazing. That really is. That means a lot.
So, you started in middle school like I did, but my first poem was about death. So we have 2 wildly different starts on our first poem, but that's okay. What has been where are the different places that you get your inspiration for your poetry?
A big inspiration is Edgar Allan Poe, as you can tell by the gothic theme of the poems. He's always been a big inspiration to me. I've always felt like I could relate to him through his poems, and that's always been a goal through my poems. It's like when I write them, when I put them on paper, they come from personal experience. But when somebody else can read it, they can take it and they can make it relate to them. Edgar Poe has always been a big inspiration to me. Him and my grandfather, they've been my both biggest inspirations. And when I got to see where I'm a decent poet, I'm a decent writer, I took it more seriously. And it kind of went from this lovey, happy poetry that I used to write to this dark and twisted poetry that I now write.
So you are literally mirroring Poe. His
Yes.
original stuff was beautiful and happy, but the critics got to him, and then he decided to burn it and started writing what he had published.
Yep. And for me, where it differentiates is that it wasn't really critics for me. It was my life kind of became this darkness, and it went from happy and loving to betrayal, sad, and heartbroken.
I definitely understand that feeling. And yeah, I also too love Poe. My first poetry project, we had to write one of our favorite poems from one of our favorite poets, and I can like write it by hand out to put in this packet we were making. And the teacher opens up Nevermore, and she's like, "You literally wrote out every line of Nevermore on notebook paper. You said,
No,
write my favorite."
it was really good. I love Nevermore.
So yeah, that is um that is actually something I'm happy we have in common. We love Poe. Uh what is what was your favorite aspect about your book so far that you
My favorite aspect would be that it kind of shows that you can have a big heart. You can be very, um, you can wear your heart on your sleeve, like I've been told. Um, but you can still have that brightness in your heart, but deep beneath that brightness there's always darkness. There's always I always believe that love and giving come from pain and betrayal and misfortune. And when someone goes through that, they can understand, and they can fully understand what love is once they go through the pain that comes from
Well, that one I feel deep in my soul completely.
it.
Um, is a lot of authors there is a split down the middle. Are you a write on your phone type of author, or are you a write on a laptop or desktop author?
So funny story. I've always been a pen and paper type author. I've always been like I have the original poems on in a journal sitting on the entertainment center. Um, but it all depends on what type of mood I'm in. If I'm traveling with somebody and I want to write, or I'm out on vacation, I've always do it on my phone and then I transfer it to pen and paper. But I've always been a pen and paper type of poet. I've always been a pen and paper type of writer. It gives me that sense of
Awesome.
originality.
I actually, yeah, I can definitely say I totally understand that, because almost all of my stuff is written in journals before it gets transferred. And I've typed up the majority of what I've done on my phone and then tweaked it on my laptop. What um what do you like to um what type of do you listen to music when you ride, or
Yes.
are you okay, cool.
Um,
What type of music do you listen to?
So I know I know I give off a vibe of like sad, depressed type of person, and that's very true to my heart. I listen to an artist called NF. He's a rapper who doesn't even cuss in his raps, but he raps about real life things. Um, I go into um, Sleep Token. It's a mixture. It's definitely like a lot of songs that you would listen to when you're driving late at night in the rain, or you're looking out the window in the rain, and you start to feel all the emotions hit you. Um, that's the only type of stuff I listen to. I've been told it can make my depression worse, but actually, in reality, it actually makes it better.
That actually makes more sense than most people understand. Sometimes what seems like depressing to other people can help
Because
with your mental aspect.
it's relatable. It lets you
And
know that. Go ahead.
unless you it's and you feel like others feel like you do.
Yeah, it lets you know that you're not the only one really going through it by yourself. Even though you're there in person by yourself, you always know there's other people out there that are going through worse or going through the same thing, and that them telling their story can help you get better. That's why I took poetry so deep, is that if I can tell my poetry, if I can tell my story, people that read it could understand that they're not alone in this.
That I love. And definitely feel that too. Do you have a favorite comfortable spot to write, or is it anywhere?
Um, it could pretty much be anywhere, but my go-to spot will probably be um either in my bed or in my car late at night listening to music.
Have you made a playlist for your poetry volume?
Um, I'm actually still working on that. It's I started the playlist like a couple months ago. Um, it's kind of a dark playlist, but yeah, I've actually started on one of my albums, my poetry album.
Okay, that's cool. If you set it up on YouTube with the videos, definitely share it with us so I can put it on the book pages as well.
Okay.
That would be awesome. I love it when authors give us a playlist so we can hear what was in there, what they listened to while they were working.
Okay, I definitely will get it finished up and definitely get it out.
Please and thank you. Do
You're,
you have a song you play most?
yes, I do. Let me go to. Um, I gotta find it in my playlist.
Okay.
Let's see.
Are you a tea or coffee or other person?
I'm an iced coffee person. Always iced coffee. Will never drink hot coffee. My coffee has to be iced, and if I'm drinking tea, it has to be sweet tea.
That rocks. Do you have a favorite brand
For tea,
for tea and coffee?
tea would be Lipton. I've always been a big fan of Lipton iced tea. Now coffee has to come from Starbucks. I know it's a very controversial area. It's a very controversial coffee spot, but if I'm getting iced coffee, it's gonna either be McDonald's caramel uh, iced coffee with extra caramel drizzle, extra caramel syrup, extra whipped cream, or it's gonna be Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee, or it's gonna be Starbucks cookies and crumble um, frappuccino.
That rocks. Great choices. I like to do the same with the extra caramel at the Starbucks or Dunkin' to get caramel macchiatos?
I've never had a macchiato. I've always wanted to try one. I've been told they're really good.
I definitely recommend, because both Dunkin' and Starbucks make good ones.
Okay, I'll definitely try it. The song that I listened to the most while writing my poetry was "Lost in a Moment" by NF.
Okay.
"How Could You Leave Us" by NF.
Definitely gotta look those up and find out what they sound like, because I've never heard of NF before.
There's another one called "If You Want Love," and that also played a big part into the betrayal parts of the poetry book, the poetry volume.
Okay.
It's by the same one. You're welcome. He's been my main artist that I listen to. I've listened to all of his albums, so all his songs word for word, been to all his concerts for all his album drops. He's been the main artist that helped me through what I've gone through in life and what I still continue to go through in life. And he's been the one I listen to when I write.
That rocks. And I'm definitely going to check him out after the interview.
Okay.
What has been the biggest thing you've learned while getting published and writing your book?
That patience is a virtue. That patience is a virtue, and time is a currency you can only spend once. It's a quote that I've read on one of my hoodies that I have, that I've definitely learned with writing poetry, is that you only get to spend time once. You can't take back the time that you spent or the time you haven't spent. And definitely taking the time to sit down and finish my poetry and to go full dive in my poetry, it's something that I would spend again over and over. Patience wise, it's waiting for the release date of the book. It really, it couldn't come sooner. I wanted it to come sooner. I kept waiting for it, and Ma was like, "Keep waiting, be patient." And I've definitely learned patience with this.
Yes, that I totally understand. As a mom, I've had to learn patience. It's been harder as I get older because each child is different.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a go-to comfort place?
I do. Not a lot of people know about it. It's actually it's where me and my grandfather spent our last day together before he died, before he passed away. Before he passed away, what's the word I'm looking for? Unknowingly passed away. Well, I knew he passed away, but we didn't expect him to pass away. It's a place called in Wilson called Wiggins Mill. It's like a waterfall. That's where I
that
go
sounds
to.
gorgeous.
That's where I go to release everything that I need to get out of my system. A lot of people don't know my grandfather. He was basically my father figure growing up. And if my father does hear this podcast, and I don't mean it with with any ill intent, my grandfather was always in my corner. He always defended me. Even if I made a mistake, he would get on me, of course, but he would always defend me. He was a mason. He was a fireman. He was a mayor. He was a fire chief. He was a cook. He was He was an author. He was a playwright, and a play director. He also was a woodshop worker. He had his own business. He was everything.
That is amazing.
And definitely, when he passed away, my grandmother gave me his Mason Brotherhood ring. And the rule behind that is you're not allowed to wear it unless you're part of the Brotherhood. and I never wore it on my finger. Always wore it on the necklace, and always wore it around my neck until someone stole it from me and pawned it off. But the
Yeah,
waterfall is definitely my
it's
place.
horrendous.
Yes, it is.
Do you have other poets that you follow and read?
Um, I do. I actually have a few of their names. Uh, they're not known very well. They're still up and coming. Um, one second. Mm, there's a poet called on Instagram called Ainur. They're really good poetry. Um, Louise Kaufman. I find their poetry really good. Um, only, and then the Facebook group that I'm in, there's a lot of poets there that are actually write really good poetry that I'm not surprised they're not published. I'm surprised they're not published. Um, a good one's called his name is Michael Taylor. Um, let's see. Memory House is really good. They kind of go with my vibe, and Michael Taylor goes with my vibe. And After the Fall.
That is really cool. I haven't heard of them, but I definitely do want to look them up.
Well, if you want me to, I can actually share you the poems and poetry group that I'm actually part of.
That would be amazing.
Let me see. Let's see if I can send it to you. Yeah, no, I just sent that to Patty. Whoops.
Well, she won't mind. She'd be like, "Yay, he's sharing poetry with us, with me."
There you go. I sent you the group on Messenger.
Okay, awesome. And at some point, I need to see if you would like to join my group, Friday Blues Library in the Blue Box, or no, Friday Blues Disorganized Library.
I think I joined. I joined whatever ones you invited me to.
Okay, I'll
Yeah, I
make
joined
sure
Friday's
later.
Disorganized Library Blue Box. Yeah, that one I'm part of.
Okay, awesome. That was my reader group before I became an author.
I really love what's in it. I love the all the authors and stuff in there.
Oh, yeah, it was really cool when I found out people I didn't even know were authors had joined, and I'm like, "Ooh, I must read your stuff now." And that's always a cool feeling when other authors come and join you.
Yep.
And yeah. What is your favorite dessert?
That's a tricky question because I don't really like very sweet things.
You're more of a savory person?
Kind of, but not even that. I'm more of a. It's gonna sound weird. I only and can only eat things with dark chocolate. It has to be. Now, when I say dark chocolate, it can't be 35, 50%. It has to be 99% dark chocolate. Um,
Okay.
I That's the only thing I can really eat. Because of how good it is for your health. Um, I suffer from high blood pressure, and
Oh, okay.
that keeps my blood pressure good. Um, so if it's dark chocolate, I will eat it. But if it's like milk chocolate, not really. Pistachio ice cream is actually one of my favorites, though.
Okay. What about savory food? Do you have a favorite savory food?
Now, when you say savory food, what is that including?
That includes everything that's not sweet.
Snack wise, French fries. um, I'm a big French fry fanatic. I'm a big potato fanatic. If I want something that like I'm craving or I know I can eat, well, no problem. It would be Chester's hot fries and Fritos cheese dip.
Oh, okay. Great
It's
choices.
it's really good. I'm a cook myself. My grandfather actually got me into cooking. I did cooking classes in high school. I had a whole plan to go to culinary school after I graduated, but that kind of life didn't lead that way.
Do you like to test recipes or make
Yes.
new recipes?
Yep. I actually have at my grandfather's storage locker. We have a whole family recipe book of family recipes.
That is awesome. What type of stuff do you like to cook?
I will cook anything. I will try to cook anything at least once. If it's too much of a struggle, I will not do it again. But my favorite thing to cook by far is what my grandfather taught me how to cook. It's called pola baracha. It's in translation is drunken chicken. Um,
Oh,
it's really good. Actually, I cooked it for one of my cooking competitions in high school, and I actually won a competition with it. Um, it's something that's got to cook for hours, cooks overnight, and a crock pot. It's very good. You have to use alcohol with it, but it's really good.
yeah. I would have expected it to be need the alcohol, but what type of alcohol does it need?
Uh, it all depends on the cook, really. My grandfather always used like a type of cooking wine. Um, I actually used actual red wine to cook with it. Um,
Okay.
but it's more of the type of alcohol you're looking for is more of a wine because it's a Spaniard dish, and
Yeah.
so they use a lot of wine in their cooking. So I actually went with real wine instead of cooking wine.
Okay. It definitely sounds really good. The last time somebody cooked chicken for me, they used Keystone. So I'm like, I wonder what type you would use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, red wine has always been up there.
That is really cool. What is your favorite poem so far?
In my book alone,
Yeah.
um, I'm glad I got the book right in front of me because I'm stuck between a few. Actually, when people that have got the book, they always ask like what poem I go to, and I give them a few that I go to. A lot of these don't have names, which is one of my biggest stressors when writing it. And Patty was like, "It's okay. Like a lot of poetry doesn't have a name in itself."
Yeah,
Um,
you don't have to name it. I just picked like for the three graphics I made, I picked ones that I really liked, little pieces of the poems that I really liked and
so
shared those.
my top three, because I can't choose the top one. My top three is going to be in between remorse, guilty mind, and memories.
Okay. That that is beautiful. Um what is like the big thing when readers read your book? What do you want them to take away?
My dark side of my mind wants to be like the pain that I go through. Um, things that I've gone through in my life. But in reality, I want them to take away that there's always a way to cope. There's always a way to get everything out that you want to get out instead of doing it drastic ways. Because I've took the drastic routes and I'm not proud of it. I want them to take away that they're not alone.
Yes.
If anyone hasn't noticed that, I am big on mental health awareness. I'm very big on it. I take depression seriously. I take all types of mental health issues seriously. I don't joke about it. It's not something to joke about because it's a very serious thing. Um, in middle school, I was bullied a lot in middle school, and
Yes.
so me and a couple of my friends, we actually got together in middle school, and I started a club in middle school called Bully Stoppers. We had a whole mission statement, we had everything, and it actually still is a club till this day in middle school at the middle school I went to. Um, it's gotten a lot of bullying to stop. It brought a lot of awareness to bullying because I truly believe that bullying is not taken seriously as it needs to be taken because
No, it is not.
there are countless kids, like I want to say it was a month ago that a 13-year-old ended her life because of bullying and nobody took it seriously.
I agree. That is why we have this ticker right here. That is how serious we take it. We
Yeah.
run it on our padded cell show, the
Mm-hmm.
National Suicide Prevention Lifeline toll free. Just dial
Yep.
988 and or text 741741 and they will help you. But I can honestly agree, it's not taken seriously. And I wish more adults would understand because that is like one of the reasons why I do homeschool my children. Nobody was taking it seriously except for one teacher. And then after she got out of that grade, nobody was doing anything.
Yep. And I know it's gonna be a biased statement when I make it. I feel like men's mental health is really looked down on.
Very
Growing
true.
up, growing up, I was always taught that men should not feel weakness. They should not cry. They should not do this or do that. Which has always kept me closed off from talking about what actually goes on with me. Um, so I made it a goal in my life to bring awareness to men's mental health because men do suffer from mental health, and it's actually the leading suicide rate that men actually do. Um, Men could commit suicide a lot more often than a lot of people because nobody listens to them. Nobody, everybody makes it where the society made it to where men can't talk about what's the demons that haunt their mind and all this. And when I go to therapy, I can't talk to a male therapist. I have to talk to a female therapist because I can't. I feel like I'm being judged when I talk to another male about what's going on with me.
And that is the sad thing. And that's why I'm trying to figure out ways to help both my girls and son understand what they think and feel and how they feel are important, and we need to talk about it, or pick any of the adults that you love and talk about it and let us help you think about it and work through it or find a solution,
Mm-hmm.
or just let us listen and hug you,
Nope.
because it shouldn't matter if you're male or female. You should be able to know somebody wants to hear you, and
Yep.
what you think and feel matter.
Oh, most definitely. And it's like when I don't know if you remember that show called 13 Reasons Why.
I haven't seen it. I
Um,
know that it's real.
that show really hit home. Um, I saw it before they took the scene out where you could see everything. Um, it really hit home because I was once that person that did what she did. That, how do I put this in PG terms?
We are an 18 and above show, so as long as it's not like overly graphic, we're fine.
I was once the person that tried to do the things that she did. I have to live with that. I have to wear those scars every day. And a lot of people say, "Oh, it's for attention and it's for this and that," but it's really not. When you're the person that actually does it, it's to release the pain that's inside you. It's when people ask me why I did it, it was more of a so I could see that I was still alive, that I can see that I was still here, that I wasn't completely gone and lost. When I actually talked to my therapist about my speeding issue and my street racing issue, she was always curious on why do I speed and why do I street race, and the only thing I could tell her was when I'm going that fast, it feels like I'm leaving everything that haunts me behind me. It's like I'm
It
leaving
gives you a release.
Yes, it gives me that release that I'm looking for.
I think I'm going to keep the banner running for the rest of the show.
Okay.
But what is the one thing that you want our male listeners and readers to know about their moving forward and their mental health?
All right, repeat the question.
What is the one thing you'd like the male listeners to know moving forward and male readers to know about their mental health and what they can do?
I would like them to know, and not just males in particular, but everybody, that mental health is real. And if you feel depressed, if you feel those lows, and that if you get those thoughts, that it is okay to reach out. It is okay to find a coping mechanism that is safe and that won't cause permanent damage. That you're not alone in this battle. And I know that it may feel that way because the way that we were taught, but you're not alone, and that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to sit down and cry once in a while. It's okay to scream at the top of your lungs into the sky and wonder why and blame everything else around you. It's okay to let it all out. Just don't let it out on another person, and don't let it out on yourself. Let it out on the universe. Let it out in a safe way.
And please call the hotline.
Yes.
Please find a therapist. Please find a friend.
Yes.
Or a family member. Or you're welcome to come join us on Padded Cell and talk with us. Padded Cell is about mental health awareness and talking about random things just because we need that time for friendship. We need that time for talking. And it's okay if we don't know you. We don't have to know you. Come talk with us.
That is completely true. And that's definitely big. Definitely reach out to the hotlines. Use the hotlines. That's what they're there for. They're there to help you get through it. I promise you, the person on the other side is not judging you. They're there to help you, and they can understand, because most of the people that I've learned that are in therapy, that are therapists themselves, they've actually gone through the same stuff or similar to the same stuff. And even the therapists have therapists. The therapists have their own demons too. So it's okay to reach out to somebody and reach out for help.
And remember, if you do come on Padded Selves, we don't judge you. We judge horrible horror movies.
I was told about that.
Yeah. You are definitely welcome to come join us on Tomb of the Terrible. and watch the movie with us. Watch the movie and then come join us and talk with us.
Mariah is still trying to get me to watch all these movies that I haven't watched. I just recently watched Gladiator. Great movie. I watched The Fifth Sense. That was also a great movie. The recent horror movie that I watched was 13 Ghosts.
Ooh, I love that
really
movie.
Good. I love that movie. But
was
she
it,
still has. Huh?
Which version? The black and white or the color?
The color version.
Okay.
She's still trying to get me to watch Ghost Ship. I've never really
watch Ghost Ship.
I've never been really been into horror movies. I don't know why. Because I know, like, in my brain, it doesn't scare me. It's just like, oh, well, this is happening. Like,
no, for that scene at the beginning alone, when they're dancing, watch the Ghost Ship.
I will definitely check it out.
Because that's one of my favorites.
I'll definitely check it out. We have it on DVD at the house. I've been meaning to watch it. I'm a big fan of the Jack the Skeleton Night Before Christmas.
We are too. My kid sleeps with Jack. We got 2 different Jack plushies.
I actually have sweatpants that have Jack down it. Have you ever seen a show called Wednesday?
Yes.
I love Wednesday. I also love Jen Ortega. Jen Ortega is my celebrity crush.
That is awesome. I've watched every version of Addams Family there is.
I have to.
And I even saw the one where Tim Curry was Gomez.
Yep. I'm a big fan of the Harry Potter books. I've read all the Harry Potter books, seen all the Harry Potter movies.
Me too.
Great series.
Ooh, what are your comfort reads?
My comfort reads?
Yes.
Right now it's William Shakespeare. Anything by William Shakespeare.
My next question about William Shakespeare, there are a lot of people that believe it sounds better in a Southern accent. Do you agree?
It does. It definitely sounds better in a Southern accent because Southerners have, how can I put it? They kind of have the part of the Old English in them and the way we talk.
Yes.
A lot of people can't read Shakespeare because how he words his plays. But Southerners, the Southerners friends I have, and me myself, we can read it perfectly fine because we're not raised like Southerners. I'm from Mississippi. We don't talk properly. Like we talk respectfully. We have the Southern hospitality, but when we're talking, it's like when people ask us how do you say oil, it's like we say oil. We don't pronounce the full pronunciation of the word. So I feel Southerners, they definitely read Shakespeare better and definitely say Shakespeare better.
To be honest, originally I only ever heard it in Southern.
Really?
Whenever I was doing it in high school.
Mm.
And then I started finding the movies after I got older. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely better Southern.
Who is your favorite author?
All-time favorite author? Ooh, that's a difficult question. I would say Stephen King, but I haven't read all his books. But he is one of my favorite authors. Playwright would be William Shakespeare, obviously. Author, I'm just going to stick with Stephen King on that one because his books are actually really good.
I will definitely agree that he is a great author. And you've already met my favorite poet. So that rocks. She publishes us.
She is a great poet. From what I've read, she is a great poet.
What is there a similar theme or a different theme for your next poetry volume?
I think I sent you the rough draft of one of them. Yeah, I sent
Okay.
you and Patty. Yeah, the rough draft. It kind of follows. How do I put this?
I didn't know we had received this. I'm sorry. I
No,
don't like.
you're completely fine.
She controls the majority of that. I am the social media manager.
Well, I think I texted you off thread. I think it was you.
Okay.
Yes,
Then
it
I
was you.
probably have that on my phone too, but I've been so overwhelmed I haven't read it yet. So I will dig through my phone and find it. I do everything on my phone.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Except for this.
I sent you the rough draft. It you know Haunting Adeline, right?
Yes.
It follows that side. It goes to the smut. It's going to be a full
I
poetry.
remember the conversation now. Okay, I'm sorry. I do have it on my phone.
No, you're completely fine. A lot of people still don't know that I'm in process of the second book. The people that know don't know the theme of it.
I've just been totally overwhelmed with the new school year.
You're completely fine.
It's like, wow. Okay. Then I do have it, and yeah.
It follows that category.
Nothing wrong with that. I follow a lot of authors who love to write about that. Do you have a favorite theme in general when writing your poetry?
A favorite theme in general?
Yeah, that even whichever is it always the dark side of your soul or the lighter side, or what, when you just need to think, is there a certain like idea or theme you think about for writing, or is it more whatever you're feeling at that moment?
It's more of whatever I'm feeling at the moment, but it mainly goes to the dark side of my soul. I have a very, very bright side of my soul. But the darkness kind of shadows it and takes over. So when I go to write the bright side, it's like I would get writer's block trying to write the bright side. But when I go to write the dark side, it's all I can write. But when I do the bright side, it's writer's block.
I totally understand that. That would probably be why I write more about ghosts than anything.
Mm.
And the darker side of life and afterlife. Okay. What? Sorry, we went through the majority of my list of questions, and I've been waking up as we go along, and I've totally enjoyed this conversation because it's been so nice to finally talk to you.
Thank you.
I've been wanting to talk to you for a while and actually like speak like we are now.
Thank you.
And I am very happy you are writing your poetry and letting us read it.
It's definitely something I've always wanted to get out there. and I'm glad that the Fade Corp could help me do it.
Are you a pen or pencil type of person?
I'm a gel pen type of person. It has to be gel pen. That's the only thing I'll write with.
Okay. Is it always black or blue, or are you multicolor?
Black, blue, or red.
Black, blue, or red? Okay. I feel like I work better in maroon or purple, personally.
Well, the crazy thing is that my favorite color is purple and orange.
Ooh.
But I prefer to write in those three colors.
Mine would probably be green and purple and then orange.
Green's
Do you
not
have
bad.
Green's not bad.
When I think of green, the only green that comes to mind is like a neon green.
Okay. Mine's more foresty.
That's a beautiful green too. Like the orange that I like is like a more of a fall type of orange. Like more of a Halloween type.
Okay. Do you have a favorite stuffy?
Stuffy?
Yeah, stuffed animal or
Um
Eldritch God?
What's that brand called? What's that brand called?
Beanie Baby?
No, you know those big stuffed animals you can buy at Walmart?
Yes.
What are they called?
I don't know.
It starts with an F. I think it starts with an F.
I don't know.
Hold on. I know what they're called.
To be honest, I normally just pick out the stuffy for the animal my kid is looking for. Like
Really?
recently I bought one a chicken because the one of his favorite characters on his show has a purse chicken, and he's like, "Can I have a backpack chicken for my How to Train a Dragon backpack?"
Oh.
So, yeah.
I believe that's my spirit animal, though. A dragon is my spirit animal.
Dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love dragons.
I actually have a dragon on my arm tattooed. With a heart in the center of it. Because I was always told to wear my heart on my sleeve, so I said, you know what? I'm gonna put a heart on my sleeve.
And you have.
Yep, I
That
have
is awesome.
a dragon with a heart on my left arm, and the arrow with the day my grandfather passed away. The arrow symbolizes, because the arrow can never go backwards, it always goes straight,
Yes.
and always keeps moving forward. And the arrow represents to keep moving forward.
That is beautiful. And I really love that you have ink.
Oh, I want to get more.
Yes. My dad was a tattoo artist.
Really?
Yes.
I definitely want to get more.
Next one will be?
My next one is going to be an anime one. Of my favorite anime, it's Tokyo Ghoul, and it's going to be Kenki and his ghoul form.
That is epicness. Ooh, what's your second favorite anime?
That's a tough one because right now my girlfriend has me watching Fairy Tail.
Oh, I love Fairy Tail.
And it's between Fairy Tail, Demon Slayer, One Piece, and My Hero Academia.
Okay, those are great choices.
But the very first anime I ever watched was Attack on Titan.
Ah. Mine would probably be Fruits Basket or Bleach.
I've never seen Fruit Basket. I've seen Bleached.
Okay. I definitely recommend giving it a try. Definitely with your girlfriend. She might like it or not. I don't know. But watching it with a loved one is always a good thing because I watch anime with my husband and my kids. So, yeah.
Well, for the longest part of my life, I was always like, I was never for anime, and then, one of my exes actually got me into it, and I've kind of been stuck to it.
Sorry, my kids decided to play right outside the door.
You're
I'm like,
completely
"Hey,
fine. You're
because
fine.
you probably heard the scream as one lost their footing. Whew. Okay, where would you like people to find you?
So when we get my author page set up, definitely my author page at Josh Pavelsky. You can find me on Instagram. However, it is my car club Instagram because I own a car club. At
Ooh,
gen3.eclipse, but eclipse is spelled with a 3 backwards.
okay,
I can link that to. I can send that to you.
okay. And viewers, since I can edit the links on YouTube, all of his information will be added to the YouTube link, which will be shared again later. And when it is transferred to the Fakor page, well, the Fakor Facebook page, you'll find it there as well. But I can edit the one on the Fakor and the Owlite YouTube, so you'll definitely find that there. Since we are still trying to figure out his stuff, yes, please share your link.
Okay.
Any other social media places?
You can find me on Snapchat. At s10.pbj. Funny story, my
Okay.
initials are PBJ. I always got called peanut butter jelly.
That is really cool.
And when I played football in high school, when they would call me to the field, they couldn't pronounce my last name, so they called me Wazowski, Mike Wazowski. But yeah,
That rocks.
I will link all my social media to you and
I
give you all
will
my social
update
media.
it for you guys. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
One more question before I do mine, and I also have to. I'm gonna pop up the books we need to show for mine. What is your favorite jelly?
Jelly. It depends on what type of mood I'm in, because I usually go for like an apple jelly. But I'll go for a pear jelly. I'm not really big of a fan of a grape jelly.
Yeah, but I haven't tried the pear yet, but I love the apple.
The pear is really good.
Okay. We have Owlite Network has a anthology out, the Owlite Menagerie, where we have a whole lot of amazing people who have written amazing stories. You'll find anything from ghosts to angels and so much more in between, even a really cool car with something under the hood. Please check it out. All the proceeds for the first year goes to pro literacy. Every adult has the right to literacy. Even if you just make a donation to pro literacy and not buy our book, we're happy, but we hope you buy our book and you check out all the amazing stories that all these beautiful people have written. And if you would like to find me, I'm at you can find me at Fakor. You can find me at Owlite Network. You can find me at my actual pages, Friday with the Library in the Blue Box, and Jennifer Elliott's my author page. Please read his stuff and all others who are on Fakor. We appreciate you coming. Have a wonderful day, guys.
Greetings and shabebans. We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, a long-form bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
Yeah, that sounds good, but I don't know what all those words mean.
I think what Parasite Steve's trying to say is that on Retro Reductopus, we explore a range of retro goodness, from toys, video games, and movies, to cartoons, and even snacks and school lunches.
Oh.
And we do it all with a positive spin, a slew of killer guests, and some very adult language.
And you know what else is cool?
No.
This crazy show is part of the Door King Podcast Network with new episodes every Tentacle Tuesday.
What's that?
And if waiting 2 weeks for a new episode gives you a sad, know that we drop bonus episodes all the time, like the off-format Crow's Nest and an interview series we call The Brig.
You can listen to Retro Reductopus on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any app that's cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all the things that make growing up awesome.